All right, here's the Armenian Arman Tsarukyan, a lightweight that many believe will one day be wearing UFC gold around his waist. The winning streak is in tow, and the strength of schedule has just been fantastic, really dating to the Islam Makhachev fight back in 2019. At times, perhaps Tsarukyan has been a victim of expectation, but largely he has lived up to what was some appreciable hype when he signed with the UFC back in 2019. He has inched his way towards contention. He's a guy that some have called the boogeyman of lightweight division, a guy that a lot of people don't want to fight. Eventually, you gotta fight him. We'll see if he can rise to the occasion here tonight. So here he is, the former two-division UFC champion, George "Rush" St-Pierre. He's the most prolific takedown artist on paper in UFC history. Despite not having any amateur wrestling chops to speak of, this is a man who, at least in my mind, turned the MMA takedown into a thing.
Yes, he did. He made it all look so smooth and so great. But it was the striking of George St-Pierre that was so good that made you have to be on awareness the whole time. So as the hands move up, George St-Pierre had the timing that was unmatched at the time in mixed martial arts. One of the first guys that was truly able to do everything. Before we had specialists, and then we had George St-Pierre. He truly changed the game.
GSP George St-Pierre has stepped inside the octagon and is ready to fight. All right, now let's get to our tale of the tape for this welterweight championship fight. Now for the official introductions, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC welterweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, presenting the challenger, Arman Tsarukyan. And now, introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world, George "Rush" St-Pierre!
Herb Dean, our referee for this one.
Let's do it.
All right, early round action here, and the masses have eyes fixed on one George St-Pierre. Takedown figures to be here tonight. I know that is not breaking news to the masses, but St-Pierre talked a lot about his striking and the improvements that he continues to make, especially when it comes to his jab. Feels like that's going to be the weapon that he goes to first here in this matchup. All right, early action here. We'll see how soon George St-Pierre can get. Oh, nice judo toss for him. Inside the closed guard now.
I mean, he went right into his full guard. What does he do to try to advance himself to give him more of an advantage on the mat?
Nicely done. Oh, great transition there as he reverses to top position. Beautiful work on the ground there by Tsarukyan. Ground and pound strike there now. Now drops inside that closed guard, DC.
Full guard. Let's see how patient he is as he attacks a submission or big ground and pound.
Man, this is some serious ground and pound here, DC. He's not just staying busy for the sake of staying busy. These strikes are doing damage.
Oh yeah, no pity pat to this guy. This guy's trying to land, and he's trying to land effective strikes.
Pretty good straight punch there by Tsarukyan.
He's got to start kicking the body, kicking the head. He's just got to start kicking. That left hook was crazy. That's a beautiful body kick.
And there he goes, lands another combination. His cardio's so good that it allows him to put forth this type of output and pace.
When his opponent is done at 2, he is stringing together 4, 5, 6 more different strikes. You don't do that without having fantastic cardio.
Oh, nicely done there as he escapes back to his feet. Takedown defense holds up. Trying to stay busy here in the clinch, and he landed a beautiful punch there.
Great dirty boxing.
Kick to the body now, that one won't land. Well, he's doing a nice job here blocking these shots. The chin is tucked, the hands are high. Pretty good job defensively thus far.
Great job defensively. He's seeing everything coming.
Beautiful takedown by him there as he lands another one. He's keeping the stat guys busy tonight.
I mean, over and over, takedown attempt after takedown attempt, and the cardio. The cardio to wrestle that much is so impressive because his opponent is getting back to his feet, but he's got this ability to continue to chase takedowns.
Round 1 winding down here. Second round, straight ahead.
Stop.
All right, buddy, take a seat. Deep breath. Breathe. All right, let's get him some water. Take a drink. All right, here we go. Listen, you're doing absolutely awesome. All right, let's look back at some of the action, DC. Your good friend Mark Coleman, the godfather of the ground and pound, would be proud.
He'd be very proud. He'd be very proud with the way that he showed his ability to use his ground and pound. He didn't waste any action. He did everything he needed to do. He was able to posture. He was able to control wrist. He did everything perfectly in his approach in that ground and pound sequence.
Second round underway. All right, DC is back from the concession stand as we get our next round underway, and you had to like what you saw in terms of the volume and the efficiency on the feet in that previous round.
Oh, he did a great job of just being active, really setting down on those right hands, showing that it was not only going to be striking, but a lot of significant strikes landed over the course of that round.
And now leather being thrown on both sides. Nice combination on the feet, and now works it to a takedown.
Let's work. I'm going to stand this up.
All right, north-south position now, DC. We'll see how he chooses to advance from here.
Nice.
All right, well, he continues to manhandle him here on the ground. Now maybe trying to get to a choke position here, DC. Now inside the closed guard.
And he's going to try to find ways to pass and move to a submission. Wow, he actually reversed the position, but he didn't stop there. He took a strong top position himself. Oh, in the move.
GSP getting worked here from the top. Ground and pound strikes raining down.
In the half guard.
Well, the ground and pound is there once again. Strong work here by Tsarukyan.
He's very accurate in the ground and pound, and it's showing because he's landing so consistently.
Oh, and he's able to land a strike there from the bottom. Nicely done by George St-Pierre. All right, north-south position now. We'll see how he chooses to proceed. Tsarukyan is right back to the full mount. 90 seconds to go in the round. Oh, now looking to posture up, and he lands a big head strike. Nicely done there by Tsarukyan. All right, half guard position for him here, and I can hear Dominic Cruz in the back of my head just screaming about underhooks somewhere.
Yeah, he loved, I mean, but he's right? He's so right in terms of if you're on your back in the half guard, one thing you can't be is flat on your back. You need to be up on an elbow.
Right.
You need to be half on the side, and you need to control the far side underhook. It is a battle for underhook when you're fighting in the half guard position on the mat.
All right, he continues to bully his opponent here, really manhandling him on the ground. Oh, good ground and pound here.
And another one. Another strike from the top lands for him.
Tsarukyan is back in full mount. 2 rounds in the books.
Stop!
You're being controlled on the ground. He gets the takedown. I need you to put your feet on his hips immediately and push off. Don't rest until you're back up on your feet.
All right, let's take a look back at some of the replays from that last round.
Unbelievable to see these high-level competitors get in each other's face, tuck their chin, bite down on the mouth guard, and just let it all hang out over the course of 5 minutes.
You ready to fight? Ready.
Round 3 of a possible 5. Tsarukyan goes for the takedown, unable to land. One of the better takedown artists out there, nothing doing on that attempt. Well, we talked about that reach advantage as you see him land the straight punch there. Great job using his length in that situation. Telegraph that spinning back fist.
Oh, back and forth we go.
Oh, good block there. So he's really starting to put together some significant... And he's looking for that left hand, just missed. Working off of his back here. Looks like he may try to hip escape. All right, he's got side control here, DC. You know, he's got a lot of different submissions in his arsenal once this fight gets to the ground. All right, right into side control. Upper body strength figures to be put to good use here.
Yes, absolutely. And you got to look for his opponent to turn back into him. He should chase guillotine, but the opponent turns to the opposite side. He can take his back, throw his hooks in, try to choke, or flatten him out and just go for the finish.
Relentless pressure from the top by George St-Pierre.
Using a lot of good movement.
Use your hands together.
All right, he's got the full mount now. Is this one of the most dominant positions in MMA? Is that fair to say?
It's a very dominant position. It's one of the most ideal positions you can get to, especially if you are fighting someone that doesn't truly understand that they're not in as much danger as they are, because it's dangerous, but there are a lot of outs, and if a person isn't very understanding of that, then you can really, really put some damage on them.
Oh, shades of the godfather of the ground and pound, Mark Coleman, as he lands again.
Coley somewhere smiling, watching this guy land from the top position.
Print the shirts, ground and pound. Another ground and pound strike gets home. And right into side control. All right, north-south position now. We'll see who transitions first. St-Pierre's right back to the full mount here. Posturing up now.
And now the damage is about to start.
Oh, the ground and pound is coming. Good movement to avoid some of that power coming back. All right, that's 3 rounds in the books. We are headed to the championship rounds. All right, a lot of high-level striking action in that last round. Daniel, take us through it, if you would.
Tit for tat. Who has the best chin? It seemed as though they were looking for that answer. Both guys took risk. What a fantastic round.
You ready to fight? Ready.
All right, here's round 4, fight scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. All right, here we go, the 10 tension is palpable. Fourth round is underway. You've got a thing or two to say about these championship rounds.
The fourth round is easily the hardest round in fighting. You're so used to fighting up to 3. You got to get back off that stool, and this is a real test of your will and desire to win a fight.
Trying to guard pass here, not today.
No, it ain't happening. Good job understanding the transition.
St-Pierre, ground and pound from half guard. All right, feet on the hips here. Side control now, and certainly I would think more offensive options for the bottom fighter than in the half guard.
Absolutely more offensive options, because now you can just start to get away. You can just go to a wrestler stand-up. Get to your knees, post your hands, don't allow him to get his hooks in, right? Really be aware of the hooks. But get to your hands, stand up, fight the hands, break away and escape. But it's so much more free-flowing than the half guard in the side control, because all you need to do is just get the opponent's body up, because his legs are just free to move. His legs are not controlling anything. His legs are just free, so you have more freedom to use yours.
The right hand just misses.
Nice takedown. There you go. Nice transition.
Posture's up now. Oh, and delivers. Huge punch to the head there. Another ground and pound strike lands.
He's putting him in exactly the positions he needs to be in right now. He's able to relax here. And he understands, being a veteran of so many fights, that as long as he's on top, he's winning. He feels like he's winning here. Great ground and pound by this man.
Nice positional control here. Oh, staying busy from top position. He lands another ground strike there. Drops down inside the now closed guard of his opponent.
Let's see how patient he is as he attacks a submission or big ground and pound.
All right, so perhaps he's going to have to address something defensively. There is a legitimate cut around his eye.
Yeah, he got cut on the eye from that last strike. He's got to pay attention now before it gets worse.
All right, looks as though that strike maybe opened up a cut around the eye area.
Yeah, it looks like that strike opened up a cut, John, but it's nothing to worry about now. But he's got to start to protect it.
10 seconds remaining in round 4. Lands with the ground and pound. And there's the buzzer indicating the end of round 4. All right, so that's the end of the round. Pretty significant damage done in that round. Cut on the cheek, sustained there from that strike. Now the cut man's got to get in there and close that thing up. Better to be below the eye than above it, sure. But nonetheless, this could be a factor now moving forward. Well, if you're the replay guy, a lot to like in that previous round. A lot of damage being inflicted.
Yeah, I mean, and look at the swelling now, John. He wasn't doing what he needed to do to move his head, and he's paying for it. You cannot allow for an elite-level mixed martial artist to connect at that rate and think that you will not be wearing the damage. He's wearing it now. I'm interested to see what changes he makes to give himself an opportunity.
It is the 5th and final round. Looking for that left hand, not there. Oh, tags him with the straight. Nice job there by Tsarukyan. Great block there.
Great timing on that double leg.
Well, good entry there to take the fight to the grappling realm. Now we'll see what he can do from here, champ.
This is exactly where he wants to be. Look for him to try to use ground and pound to open up submission opportunities.
Well, the body work's starting to take its toll. Look at the redness starting to appear on his left side. And a nice job at least staying upright on that. Always be closing. Oh, how about the judo toss there? Judo 101. All right, half guard position here. We'll see what he can do with it. A lot of weapons at his disposal from this dominant position.
Oh, man. I feel for a wrestler, this is the most dominant position in all of fighting, because wrestlers love control.
Right.
And to have your upper body free and your leg able to hold your opponent in position, it is like striking gold. build your posture, throw your punches, big damage, but then always control the far side underhook. This is a great position for a top fighter.
All right, north-south position here. We'll see if the crowd can be mature about this, DC.
Knee on belly, postures up, knee on belly. He's raining down ground and pound. He has to move or the fight is going to get stopped.
Most fighters will tell you offensive wrestling is the hardest, most exhausting thing.
Especially if you're just running the guy over, John, and then he just gets up.
Oh, hard ground strike there, and that one opened up a cut. Down the stretch they come. We're going down to the wire. It has been all action all the time.
I mean, two evenly matched fighters have laid it all out on the line. Let's see who can get the job done as we get to the end of the fight.
All right, great position for him here. He's got the full mount. See if he can get that ground and pound going.
Oh, he's got to get it going, but he can't rush. A lot of times, guys get in the full mount and they rush, they get nervous. They're like, oh my goodness, I'm winning. Reality is, you're winning, but it can change in a matter of seconds because then they can be gone. He's got to drop his hips, be really heavy at the opponent's base, and then just start to work. Make the opponent give his back so that he can try to get his chokes off or find great ground and pound, but very patient ground and pound from such a dominant position.
Tsarukyan is in half guard now.
This is where you don't want to be, though.
Final seconds of the fight. Oh, postures up and back and forth action right till the final horn. What a tremendous finish to this one as we go the full 25 minutes. All right, so will it be and still or and new? As competitive a title fight as we've had in recent memory. Slight lean for me to the champion, but I could see it going either way.
And still, J.A., and still. Because in those key moments, in those big spots, the champion was the one that led the engagements. The champion was the one that led the dance. And I think that's enough to keep the belt around his waist.
We'll see how the judges saw it. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. For the winner by split decision, and still the undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world, George Rush St-Pierre.
All right, so another dominating effort out of the UFC Hall of Famer, George St-Pierre. No